So at the other age of the age spectrum, we have our elderly population who are living with a stoma as well. And whenever I was thinking about these different age groups and how it actually affects people, I started to think about dementia and the impact that that has on somebody who has a stoma, and also people who have dementia who end up having a new stoma formed. So I thought I would share with you some information that I have learned really about, and some hints and tips about how to maybe try and help a loved one who has a stoma and is trying to manage independently. So what exactly is dementia? Dementia is a syndrome. It's a group of related symptoms, and it's associated with an ongoing decline of your brain functioning. And it can include problems such as memory loss, thinking speed, that everything really slows down, your mental sharpness and quickness is impaired, your language might not just be as coherent as previously, your understanding of different social situations might be a little bit different, your mood can drop and be lower, you would start to move a bit slower and just not be so comfortable about going about your normal daily activities. There are many, many causes of dementia, and people with dementia can become disinterested in their usual everyday activities, and they can also have problems controlling their emotions. They also find social situations can be really quite challenging, and a person with dementia can really lose that understanding and empathy for others and situations. People with dementia might not just remember the sequence of events and how things are supposed to happen, and they might find organising things and organising themselves a little bit more difficult as to how they previously had managed. So managing their independence can be a really big problem. So when you add a stoma into this mix, it's a really complex picture that healthcare professionals and friends and family have to deal with. And it is possible in some instances in the early stages for people with a stoma who have developed dementia to continue managing their stoma, because they do remember some sequences. But some little hints and tips that might help would be to have a printed version of step-by-step guide using pictures and words, and put it into the bathroom where they would normally have changed their appliance. Another little tip that has helped other people that I've looked after would be for the family to prepare the kit in advance. So the little disposal bags that you get complimentary from a lot of places, you put your stoma pouch in it, you put some wipes in it for washing and drying, and you have this all supplied and prepared maybe for a few days in advance. And you keep all of this together in a box in the bathroom, so that the person who is coming in, maybe with the early stage of dementia and trying to maintain their independence and dignity, just have to lift one thing and they have everything there together. And then they can use the little step-by-step guide just as a little aid memoir, so that they can remember exactly what to do in the sequence that it's supposed to happen, and that they can then once again be able to look after themselves. A complex situation would be that somebody who has dementia and who has a stoma and is not able to maintain their independence, and when they're relying on others looking after their stoma for them. As I said, in the signs and the symptoms of dementia is that their mood can drop, and they can, they have little understanding of how things are working. They may start to grab and peel for the stoma bag that's on their tummy. So you want to start to develop some little hints and tips to maybe prevent that. And one would be to, whenever you are helping the person to get dressed, to really tuck a vest or their top down into their underpants, so that the access to the stoma pouch is limited. You can maybe use flange extenders, so that you're really increasing the security of the pouch onto the abdomen and making it a little bit more difficult for somebody to pull that pouch away. once again, using a stoma belt might be an idea, because it really increases the security, and perhaps even as a light support belt, just that it goes around the whole of the abdomen, and to just to prevent the person being able to get access to the stoma pouch in the first instance. But what might be happening is that the stoma pouch is causing, a little bit of irritation or pain. So at each change, it's really important to check the shape and size of the stoma, to check the peristomal skin, and to check that the pouch matches the size and shape of that stoma that you're going to use. Things can change, and it's really important that you act on any problems that might be developing. Also, constipation might be an issue that with somebody with a colostomy, and just to have a look at what the bowel motion is looking like on a weekly basis, and to add in some fibre or a laxative, something like that, just to ensure that the bowel motion is coming through easily. But don't suffer with problems alone. Contact your stomach care nurse, or go on to some of the dementia support websites, because they're starting to gain a little bit of traction on forums about people who are helping their loved ones try and maintain their independence, and also people who are carers, and people are coming up with novel ideas to help you look after your loved one with a stoma. Something else that might work would be that whenever you're caring for your loved one, would be to give them something in their hands to distract them, or maybe get them to brush their hair, because that seems to be a distraction technique, and then you can go about then managing the stoma without that person becoming really distressed.